Welcome to the Legion Outriders podcast, your source for the latest Legion news, opinion, and analysis. And now, the Outriders.
Hello there, Outriders! Welcome to our Dalmatian episode. Did you get that, Dan?
101.
That's right!
Yeah.
Hey! Matt and Dan here with you, and we've got a lot more news to talk about. Man, it's been a pretty good news cycle, from our 100th episode in the last cast and up to this one. Lots of moving and shaking in the Legion universe. Some good, some bad, some
Yeah, just a lot of interesting things at least.
Yeah, a lot of interesting things. But how you doing, Dan? What's going on, bud?
Oh, doing great.
Yeah, you getting any hobby time in?
It's funny, and we'll talk about a little bit about this more later. But I found I have a little more time to work on things, and I've suddenly gotten more motivation to do them.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so.
That's fair. Man, yeah, I just got back. I was very safely out of town for a little bit of traveling, just making sure nobody came within 6 feet of the car. That's what you're supposed to do, right? Shoot the flamethrower out of Mad Max style.
Exactly.
Shoot spikes,
Well, as long as you're standing up on top with the guitar.
Yeah, it was air guitar, but it was all metal. But anyways, yes, we've got a lot to talk about today. We've got the Star Wars news, both Legion and in general, to talk about. Hopefully everybody's watching Mandalorian that can and enjoying the crap out of that.
Jeez, I know. Again, no spoilers, but holy heck!
Yeah,
I'm kind of sad, and Crabhawk, if you're listening, I'm sad that we got on for episode 2. I mean, happy we got to talk to you about it.
Yeah,
but episode 2, man, we got stuck with
it's just one smash after another.
Yeah.
All I'll say about episode 14, finally. We talked about, well, I basically did this bit on the stream last night. It's just freaking finally.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the director, oh God, I forgot his name right now. But apparently he did Grindhouse, if I remember correctly.
Oh, really?
So that you could really see the influence in that fight scene.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
okay.
So.
I thought I saw something Kevin Smith put up on Facebook, too, that I guess the camera operator that he used for the original Clerks, when he was a film student, actually got to be doing the filmography on that episode as well.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. But anyways, let's go ahead and start out with our first news from the front in our LVO update. Dan, what have you got for us?
Well, we have an update on LVO as far as we're now 419 days out.
Oh my goodness! I thought we were sub 69 before.
Yeah.
What happened?
So, and this is from Frontline Gaming. They have their weekly podcast, Signals from the Frontline. LJ mentioned that slightly a little bit last episode.
Mm-hmm.
But they did have their newest podcast this week, and unfortunately, they said that they're going to be pulling the plug on LVO 2021.
Womp womp.
So, I mean,
yeah.
it was pretty much a given.
It was written on the wall.
Yeah.
The vaccine wasn't quite going to be here in time, so that's probably the safe play. And it just, it gives you more hobby time, right, Dan?
Well, yeah. I mean, Nevada did drop some new restrictions as well. They lowered the actual group size down to 50, which functionally would not really work for any sort of cons. So, but yes, I now have a whole nother year to procrastinate working on my table. So,
yeah. I can't wait to see, because it's just getting better, as time goes by, as you come up with more little projects for it.
Yeah.
But we're looking forward to LVO 2022.
Ooh, I know it sounds like so far
That sounds
away.
like the future, man.
Well, I'll take my flying car over there and have my pill, have my whole meal replacement pill.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Frontline Gaming did announce, of course, anyone who has registered for 2021 and hasn't yet canceled, because the date to cancel before this announcement was the 30th, but now everyone will be eligible for these 4 options. So they're giving 4 options if you have purchased a ticket, and the first one, and the one that they consider the most generous, will be to just straight donate your payment of the ticket towards the event, help them pay for, because of course they're not just getting, it's not a wash for them. They did have to put in money towards this. So to help them out a little bit, you're welcome to try and donate. You can also roll over the tickets to 2022.
That's what I'm doing.
That's what I plan on doing as well. So you can also refund the ticket cost for 100% store credit on their web store. So if anything you'd like to pick up from their web store.
Oh, okay.
Their mats are really good. I mean, that's the mat I used for the
That's not
the
bad.
Star Tours
Yeah.
And if you'd like a straight cash refund, I don't know if it's cash or not, but if you want a straight refund,
Reese comes over to your house and counts it out. He's got like one of those old-fashioned like nickel coin dispensers.
Is he on roller skates when he comes over? But anyway, yes, you can also request a refund with a 10% service fee. Plenty of options there for that. But for the future, LVO 2022.
Yeah, there's some big news there that I'm actually really excited for.
And yes, LJ did allude to this a little bit last week. The LVO 2022 will be at the Rio as opposed to Bally's.
Last episode.
I
know, it's
That's
so
what I meant
tough to do, right?
Yeah. Dates haven't been announced yet, but I mean, historically they're at the end of January.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do want to get early reservations in, and in fact, I think I saw on the LVO Discord that some people were actually looking, and Rio actually doesn't have the ability to.
Use your words.
I know.
Don't you hate that?
Doesn't giving the option to book anything yet
for
that far out yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's over a year away, so that's not surprising. But yeah, definitely keep an eye on the Rio website if you're looking to book early. Of course, the advantage of us being here in Vegas, this being our home, our home tournament. We just literally hop on the 215 and drive down, but
15 for the Rio. Yeah.
15.
But yeah, actually, if you haven't been to the Rio, it's across the freeway, basically from the main strip, but it's got Penn and Teller there. And actually, I don't know if it still has a seafood buffet, but it used to be really baller.
Oh yeah, no, they're I haven't been there actually in quite some time.
It's been a while.
Yeah. But their buffet was amazing. I
think
remember.
Holly and I went for an anniversary a couple of years back, and I liked it. It was good experience. But
and also previously mentioned, the event will be held in one giant room as opposed to Bally's splitting up all the different games into different rooms. So,
you mean I have to go out amongst the masses?
Well, I mean, we'll get a lot more visibility.
Yeah, that's true. Show off the game, and they're like, "Oh, is this a new one?" They're like,
"What is this, Star Wars?"
Yeah, a bunch of Star Warriors over here.
Yes. So, on convention front, of course, coincidentally, the same week, Adepticon was announced that it was also being canceled.
Yeah.
Which is going to be in March, which again makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Illinois is also doing similar lockdowns, so yeah, I couldn't really see them pulling that off. So that leaves the next major Legion event that has not yet been canceled to be Gen Con.
Well, fingers crossed. Yeah, I mean, August is a ways away. Hopefully things will be looking up by then, because man, that could be really fun.
Or if they do cancel it, the next LVO 2022 will be the next.
Yeah, bring it around.
We're gonna bring it around again. We're gonna be both the last and the first again.
Resurrecting the corpse of tournament gaming.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, I'll have to keep an eye on Gen Con, see how that goes. Because I mean, if it's all safe and everything's good,
of course,
I would love to go. But anyways, we've got, with that kind of crap sandwich that everybody was kind of expecting to take a bite out of, we got some good news, some silver lining at least for the storm clouds of last episode's news.
So yes, Luke Eddy tweeted he has officially confirmed that he is moving over to Atomic Mass Games from FFG.
Oh my gosh, thank you. That's actually such a relief for me. To at least, I mean, it sucks for Alex, but at least we're getting Luke in there. And did he say what role he's going to be taking on? Well, you said there's the tweet right there.
He tweeted right there, and he said that, quote, "Well, it's official. I'm the lead developer at Atomic Mass Games." So what I'm curious about, lead developer for the entire studio? Or lead developer for just Legion? I guess
he was non-specific there.
No,
but at least he'll be in there with Legion. So, I mean, he did wear a lot of hats at FFG, so I wouldn't be shocked if he works on multiple projects over there.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just curious how his resources are going to be split, if he's going to be focusing just on Legion, or if he's going to be handling all 4 games over there.
We'll have to try and reach out to him, see if he wants to maybe come back on the podcast. It's been so long.
Oh, God, it's been years.
Yeah, it's been a while. But Luke, if you're out there, buddy, hey.
He also tweeted as part of that, "Don't worry, I'm still making rules for your favorite tiny Star Wars dudes, and I have plans."
Oh, good. Well, that's good. Pray I do not alter them further.
So to add a little levity to this, at least we're flying half of a development team. No.
Another happy landing.
And well, we did skip over one piece of Star Wars news, and again, I hate to go from
I mean, you
Happy,
start
sad to
down,
happy to
bring
sad,
it up,
bring
and then
it
down again.
But
Yeah.
yes, unfortunately, David Prowse has passed away at 85.
Prowse or Prowse? I always said
Prowse? Is it Prowse?
Yeah, I don't know. Either way,
Apologies.
whichever, however you want to say it.
So, for those not already aware, he was the man in the suit
He
for
was
Darth Vader.
our Scottish Darth Vader.
Yes, for the original trilogy. They actually had to use James Earl Jones to dub over his voice because his accent was so proper and prim and actually didn't
Very
work.
Scottish.
Very Scottish, yes.
Yeah. You can hear the original footage too of him
Oh,
saying
yeah.
the lines through the suit. It's pretty amazing, especially when you're used to hearing James Earl Jones. But
Yes.
yeah, man, what a he was a huge dude, which is why he got the role, I think.
Yes,
but,
he was a professional bodybuilder
yeah, exactly.
before
But-
being picked up. So
Yeah, it's a shame, but it looks like he had a nice long run there. So
yeah, and he was actually the physical trainer for Christopher Reeve on the early '80s Superman.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, right on. But
So-
any other Star Wars news there?
That's general news, but we do have
We have Legion news.
we have some
actually.
Legion news, yes,
Oh,
which is
man.
crazy considering. I mean,
Is it actually news?
it's a leak.
Oh, okay. That's
It's a leak,
kind of
so
news.
it's kind of news. I mean, honestly, if there's any time to have a transition where there's a little bit of a news gap, now when nothing's going on, it's
Yeah,
kind of a
let's
good
wedge it
time.
in there.
Now that I look at it in more of a meta sense, I'm like, yes, I want to know more about Legion, but honestly, I haven't been getting as many games in as I'd like to.
I mean,
I mean,
true,
I don't think
true.
anyone is right
Yeah,
now, so.
right. Very few.
But and coincidentally leaked by a wing of Asmodee, Lion Rampant. For those not aware, they are the Canadian importer and distributor of Asmodee products, and they were actually acquired by Asmodee
Oh, sorry.
back in 2019.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry,
about the leak.
Sorry. Apologies to our Canadian friends out
Oh no, I love my Canadian bros and brosettes.
there. But previously listed also by Krabok. He has a YouTube video out there explaining some of the details of it. But the AA5 speeder truck, which
Wow.
yes,
Yeah,
I know.
it was like a speeder truck. I mean, that sounds cool, but where the hell did that come from?
Yeah, so I consider myself well versed in Star Wars lore. I mean, I have been since the 80s.
Yes. He begins Star Wars conversations with, well, actually.
Yes. But this one I actually had to do some research on. So apparently the AA5 speeder truck is originally, first instance of it I could find was the old West End Games RPG source book.
Oh, man. Old D6 Star Wars.
Yeah, and this is, like I said, this is West End Games. This is pre-Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we're
this was
talking
the old
1990.
Yeah.
And they did also feature it in the Star Wars miniature battles, which again is not to be confused with Wizards of the Coast's Star Wars miniatures.
Okay.
This was pre that, where they actually used pewter metal miniatures.
Oh, I thought for sure it was the plastic ones.
No, this was
okay.
pre that.
Wow. All right.
So we're talking 2 generations of miniature games
So
back
if
here.
you show up to the table with a lead truck, we'll know what's going on.
Of course, since then, both Wizards of the Coast and FFG's RPG books have actually referenced this vehicle, so it has been kept alive in the RPG sphere. Only has one canon appearance, and that is in the defunct Star Wars Commander mobile game, where coincidentally its role in that game was literally just to drop off Wookiees. Literally, you summoned it, and it dropped off several
I
squads of Wookiees.
remember
in
that
your-
thing. I played that a little bit.
So yeah, I mean, what is this thing in lore? It is literally a civilian speeder truck. So think of a box truck.
I mean, it seems
Basically.
very on brand for Rebels.
Yeah.
And it'll be
Incorporating.
interesting because I'm going to guess that it's going to be... Well, we had the X-34 where you could embark like single guys in there, but hopefully you should be able to get an entire squad in there, I would
Yeah.
think.
So what does this mean for Legion?
Yeah.
We're presuming this is the first closed transport in the game. I mean, we already have the rules for closed transport, considering it's...
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Okay, so no shooting out of the back of it. Oh, damn.
But it does protect it.
Okay,
So,
I mean,
yeah.
that's good too. And get some fleet troopers up the board or
Right.
something.
And most depictions of this vehicle have some sort of little mini anti-personnel turret on it. So I'm assuming there's
that's
going to be
cool.
a small 360
yeah,
turret on
it's
it.
got to have got something to defend itself, go the technical route.
Yeah, so and considering it's basically a box truck, and the RPG source book says that it can hold up to 25 passengers, I'm assuming this is going to hold it maybe up to 2 units.
Oh,
At least one, of
that'd
course.
be
but
interesting.
yeah, holding closed transport 2 units. So drive up and dump.
Yeah, I wonder how close they're gonna adhere to like the original design documents for it, for like size and logistics and all that kind of thing.
I'm sure they're gonna, try and do. I mean, they've been pretty good so far keeping the lore in it, but yeah, I could see game balance is always bigger than lore.
It reminds me of the old Rhino Rush days of like Warhammer.
That's what,
drive
actually
up. And
I wanted to ask. Yeah, are there any other miniatures games that have transports of the similar nature? Like,
I mean, 40K is the easiest. Maybe Bolt Action. I don't know. I have to ask John or Josh about that since they played that. But
I mean, this is my first major miniatures game, so
yeah, definitely the Warhammer sphere of things. They definitely do a lot of that. But it should be pretty good. Flames of War 2, probably. I'm thinking. I only played that a bit. But there's probably a couple out there. I'm excited for this though.
Yeah. I mean, the interesting new strategies because. Obviously, putting a lot of short-range units, dump some fleets in here, dump some Wookiees in here. Drive up to your
Wookiee troopers, maybe.
drive up to your opponent's front lines and dump a bunch of troopers on them. There's also a good possibility that we're going to be getting new pilots
yeah, good point.
So hopefully, it's maybe something that can be adapted to the X-34 or the T-47.
Be fun to put an Outer Rim jockey or something in there.
Well, I'm gonna presume, and once again, this is pure speculation on our part.
Yeah,
it's gonna
we love doing that.
Going to be hover ground like the current tanks.
Is it actually a hover vehicle? It's not a wheeled vehicle.
It is a hover vehicle.
It's not like an actual deuce and a half out there or something. It's got World War II surplus.
Well, this is gonna be a great canvas for hobby as well.
I know. We were talking to my name is Jeff.
Yeah,
and I think you were poking about. You got to have Sabine that's tagged one of those for the rebellion. Great. That's going to be a year and a half of him painting that thing now.
Exactly. But I'm just waiting for the 3 Wolf Moon van paint jobs or
that'd be cool.
Or all those crazy van art type
Dave
of things.
Filoni inspired like Wolfpack howling at the moon type thing.
Or the old 70s Star Wars poster. Have you seen those vans that have that on the side?
Like the poster over there
the one where he's raising the saber.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, maybe or just crazy van art.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like Krieger and Archer.
But I might be a little early in this, but I am dubbing this the Rebel Party Bus.
Oh man, yeah.
So definitely we're going to put a speaker box in. Whoever I'm assuming, I know Jeff's probably going to buy one. I don't know if you are, but something that plays, the
the Venga Boys Magic Mountain music. The party wire. Curse you, sir. Curse you for putting that in my brain. You're a bad person. Santa's skipping your house this year just because of that.
Instead of the old guy, we'll have 99 Clone 99 to dance. Oh man, okay.
That's sad. Do we want to destroy my mind anymore with this stuff, or is that good? You good? You done?
No. Another thing, and I didn't put this in the notes. What's the Imperial equivalent? Are we thinking?
Well,
perhaps?
I mean, I think we still got the Gav tank, right?
I'm just saying release equivalent.
That's a good point. Yeah, because we were promised parity releases. Yeah.
So I mean, the leading theory out there, at least in Imperial chat on the Discord.
This is pure speculation again.
Speculation, and Imperial chat has been very fun lately. There's a lot of speculation. But is of course the transport from the Mandalorian, the one that was the toy, because that'll be our first Imperial closed transport as well.
That could be cool. That was a sweet little yay Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Oh, I got that art book, by the way. You got to check it out before you leave.
Nice.
Yeah. But anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and take a short break, come back with the B topic. We're anticipating, with the holidays coming quickly upon us, we'll probably have another influx of new players. So we've got some advice if you want to get 500 points ready to play on the table, to have some fun, learn Legion, or if you just want to start a new faction. We had some expert list builders that were very quickly expert, I say.
Yeah. How many quotation marks are around that?
Oh man,
expert?
so many asterisks there. But we'll be back with that in just a moment.
You are receiving the Legion Outriders podcast. Ending the transmission now would be most unfortunate. And now, the Outriders.
Welcome back, Outriders. And today we've got a segment for, well, new players that might be coming into the hobby, or people starting a new faction and want to get 500 points to get onto the table for each of the major factions. So we went to Jeff, our resident Rebel / Galactic Republic player. I talked to LJ about the CIS Separatist faction. And then Daniel, of course, Mr. Empire, came up with his own list. But we want to start by saying that this is all using the current adjusted point values. If you guys are getting started and just want to play with the point values, you might need to fudge the numbers a little bit. Your mileage may vary, but we are using the ones that have been reduced, corrected, because, I mean, 80-point droidicas. Oh, man.
So anyone new coming into the hobby, the FFG's... currently the FFG's website. This may or may not change, of course, in the future. Does have, under the rules section, the adjusted point values, and those are in a document called the Rules Reference Guide.
Yeah, but most of the army builders you'll find will have the adjusted. I know Tabletop Admiral, they have the original printed cost or a toggle for the new adjusted one, so it's pretty easy to do it. But let's go ahead. Which one are we going to start with first there, Dan?
I mean, I can be selfish and start with my own.
Okay, well, Empire's always first.
Empire's always first, yes.
Okay.
And of course, again, the other presumption here, the best way to get into Legion, of course, you need to buy one core set because it's a core set. It has your dice, your rulers, your range tools, your cards, your rule books, etc. But the most economical way is either to purchase a second core set because the value to models in it is
pretty good.
It's
and
really
the core
good.
set is usually pretty for both of the Galactic Republic and the Old Republic Civil War stuff is good.
Yeah. Or the alternative to that is if you do have a friend playing the opposing faction that's in your core set, just trading halves on it.
Oh, man.
Because you just buy one core set, your friend buys another core set.
Ideally, if you're getting into it, you've got a friend and they're like, hey, we're going to gift each other a core set for Christmas. And then you're getting droids and I'm getting double clones and then everybody's good. But if that is not a realistic or available option for you, you could probably jump on eBay, honestly, and pick up, the other sets of the core box stuff, like the extra troop units and things that you might need. But we'll talk about that when we get to it.
But a second core set alone, you get an extra set of dice, which is always useful, an extra set of range rulers and tools.
And then two forces you could probably take to 500 points really easily.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I mean, I have I think we have a couple lists here that use only two core sets to make them. So, and again, these aren't competitive. This is just something good that you can put together inexpensively.
But they don't
put on the
suck
table.
either.
They don't.
I wouldn't expect to go, well, I mean, you probably could with some of these lists, but do very well at 500 points. But 500 points is the skirmish format. Me and Dan both love and endorse it. And
it is the official format of the Legion Outriders.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much right now.
Because we like to do things small and concise. But anyway, so...
when given the option to go large or go home, we usually go home. So we do it. But anyways, please, Dan.
I will go better than 2 and 2 the next LVO. But anyway.
Oh, look at you.
Ambitious.
Mr. Dreams and Aspirations.
Yes. So anyway, of course, I was thinking when we thought of this little project, I'm like, we got to go iconic.
Mm-hmm.
So what's more iconic than Vader and just piles of stormtroopers?
I mean, yeah. And Vader's gotten a little bit of love recently.
Oh yeah, so actually
a lot of fun to play.
There's a decent bid, and I don't want to get too in technicals into bids for starter lists,
sure.
but 491 points.
Okay.
So for a 500 point, that's not bad. Is Vader with force push, saber throw, and force choke. So your classic coming up and just pushing things, choking. The Rogue One hallway scene Vader. Basically.
Yeah, that's it. There you go. That's fair.
And then 4 squads of stormtroopers, each one with a DLT and each one with an extra stormtrooper.
Nice.
Trooper.
Okay.
So just stormtrooper swarm and
this
Vader.
is just week 1 release list, and it's still fun and good.
It's still fun and good. I mean, because you're just swarming with beefy defense.
Yeah.
Lots of guys.
Those red dice.
And you just come up and wreck face with Vader.
So so a modded out Vader, DLTs, extra man for the troops, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah, and I mean you still have 9 points if you want to.
And that's 4 stormtroopers total to max out for the 500 point total is maximum of 4 of the core troop units.
Correct.
So, okay.
And a 3x3 table. I mean, you got enough. It's small enough that you can get Vader up there and start getting.
You can reach out and touch somebody with a lightsaber. Did you have saber throw?
Of course.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure. That's one of my
saber throw, choke, and push. So
Very good.
all the reach out and touch
Okay.
options.
And then let's go ahead and pick up one of Jeff's lists here. So we've got the 500 points Galactic Army of the Republic. And he wrote a little synopsis here, which is fantastic. So thank you again, El Jefe, for putting this together for us. One of the first packs he'd get is a Phase 1 Clone Trooper upgrade expansion. So it's the $20 specialists and all the different weapons options ones that you can pick up. To get 2 new heavy weapons options for your clones and 2 new personnel. It's also different models poses that you can use in your regular clone army, which is nice. That's one thing that people coming in, and it still kind of blows my mind, is it's not a WYSIWYG game like Warhammer we mentioned earlier. You can kind of get a little creative with the models you're using to represent them on the table, as long as the upgrade cards are correct. But it's or you can run it as a third phase in squad 1 or your third phase 1 squad in your 500 point list. Lots of good upgrades and options in the pack. The DP23 is his personal favorite. Do we have the actual list that he had here? Okay, here we go. So this is the sample Obi-Wan skirmishes. I still love Obi-Wan so much. But Obi-Wan with force reflexes and tenacity, good pick. DP23 troopers for Phase 1 clone troopers with a clone captain, so that's going to be coming from that upgrade box as well. Phase 1 clone trooper, Z6 troopers, Phase 1 clone trooper extra. Phase 1 clone troopers, Phase 1 clone trooper extra, and then a Bark twin laser gunner upgrade, and that gets us to 490 out of 500 points. And that seems pretty good. A lot of fun. I like the use of the captain in there too. So you basically have your core set plus an extra squad, and then that one upgrade pack. So it's not too bad. It's not unreasonable amounts of investment to get to a nice 500 point list there. But yeah, it's a 5-unit list, and you'll want to focus on timing your command cards correctly. I'd probably start with Obi's 3-pip in turn 1, 2-pip in turn 2, and 1-pip in round 3. Man, he put a lot of notes on here.
Yes,
Thanks again. Yeah. That gives you the best offense-defensive tokens when you need them. There's a little wiggle room in this list to move upgrades around. Yeah, and yeah, if you've got 10-point bid, you can probably do a little bit more on that. Obi-Wan takes points, clones back up Obi, and fire support the Bark Speeder running flank. I want to see more Bark Speeders. I really like those
Hopefully
guys.
with the points drop, we'll see some more of those.
Yeah, exactly. But use Obi-Wan's Guardian wisely. Try to keep dodges on Obi-Wan for deflect chances and hit strong enemy units hard. I think overall we also determined that it's worth picking up the upgrade pack. It's like a $10 card pack that gets you, especially if you're coming in with the clone era stuff, because there's a lot of stuff from the original box set that comes in that card pack that gives you some more tactical, flexible upgrade options.
Oh, definitely. It's an inexpensive way to definitely give you a lot more options to your army.
Yeah. But he had an alternate list with basically the big change was swapping out Rex in for Obi-Wan. So if you want to do that, I mean, it's another $15 character. So it's a modest upgrade and gives you a lot of play potential variation there. And that gets him, he had it at 498 points, changing out some of the upgrades for the clone trooper guys. But yeah, I think that's a really good switch too. Especially if you like Rex.
That, and it gives you a lot more activations, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I'm trying to see how many activations you had here. Yeah, it's got 4 Phase 1 squads on that, so...
Plus Rex.
Plus the Bark, so that's, 6 activations on that. I like that a lot more.
Which is, for a skirmish list, is fairly high.
Yeah. But let's see. He also recommended picking up the specialist personnel. Okay, we saw that. And then Rex. Oh, Rex is $12.95, so even a little bit cheaper than that. But some solid input there for Galactic Republic players.
Yes. And, of course, we have to go to the dirty terrorists.
Oh, man, those rebels.
Those rebels. And, I mean, I can barely look at this lit now.
He's just a little bit of flicks of spittle. Yes. He's like Denethor eating a cherry tomato right now. It's horrifying to watch his reaction here.
So Jeff, of course, did a list for rebels as well. And thank you again, Jeff. Let's see.
He's pretty good at the list building. He keeps it quiet, but he's real good. He thinks deeply about these things.
He does. So he did a sample of just the core set, and I think it's just one. Yeah, it's just one core set worth, plus a Rebel Veterans pack.
Oh, okay.
So the Rebel
I like the
veterans-
veterans. So,
Yeah.
that's actually really smart because you get 2 core units there to get you up to your 4 with the extra emplacement trooper.
Yeah, so I mean, the veterans and the shores on the Empire side are good value, considering that's essentially 2 units in one box for $30. So, but he did Luke Skywalker just with reflexes, 2 Rebel troopers with a Z6, the Rebel veterans with their heavy, which did get a boost in the recent
Nice.
RG, and the Rebel veteran, so beefing out that. Their emplacement trooper, the medium blaster, and an ATRT with a rotary. So a lot of firepower. in
Yeah,
that
I like that a
group.
lot. That actually sounds fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Luke. I like rotary ATRTs. I like veterans. And there's troopers there with Z6s. So.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of DACA.
Lots of DACA.
I mean, defense-wise, not as much, but that's Rebel troopers. You
Yeah,
don't-
yeah.
You do that.
You takes what you get.
Exactly. But yeah, with throwing Luke up there and you get, it's only 481s. That's a heck of a lot of bid. So you got a lot more.
You got room
upgrade
for
points.
upgrades there, I think.
Yeah,
is
definitely.
probably-
I'd say throw some more on Luke just because that's your investment piece. So you want to beef him out a little bit. But yeah, 6 activations again.
How
which
big is
really
the bid
great.
on it?
19 points.
19. Okay, yeah, that's room for growing right there. You could go for a saber throw. I don't know. His
No,
DL-44
it's
does
Commander
pretty good.
Luke. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So his pistol is
yeah,
better
it's
than saber throw.
sufficient. Yeah.
But I mean, depending on, I'm trying to remember the other force upgrades. I know force barrier would have been good, but that's so new that it's not in any of the
Yeah, it's
upgrade
not even
packs.
out yet, but it
But
is definitely
still.
worth keeping an eye on.
Maybe
force push would be good.
Yeah, push would be a
Yeah.
solid upgrade in that pack as
Even
well.
if you just use it for the 1 turn, I think that'd be good. Does he have room for like tenacity or anything? Or
Fortunately,
endurance? Or
the only thing with the training upgrade here is the veterans.
Ah,
Since there's
okay,
the
well,
original
never
Commander Luke
disregard
didn't. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's a solid list. Actually, if this were set across the table for me in a in a skirmish game,
Shake
I'd
my
be like,
fist
I'd shake my
aggressively.
fist aggressively first, but I'm like, there's, because it's really, you go for the Rebel veterans to try and take them out, the ATRT and Luke hit you.
you
You
would
go for
absolutely
Luke, the ATRT and the veterans. It's like you don't have a good target to really take out this list, as opposed to my Vader list, which if you blow away Vader,
Yeah,
that's a lot.
There's a lot of threat over there.
Yeah.
So that's really good. I like that.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, if you saw it across the table, you'd probably twirl dramatically, letting your Imperial cloak
Yes.
flutter behind you as you stride away from the table purposefully. Okay, and then finally, that brings us up to the CIS, the old Separatists, and it's a pretty simple list. I kind of filled out the basics of it, and then I talked to LJ about it, so we got his stamp of approval. So we've got, you could do this with just one. You could do this with one of the core boxes. It's definitely better to get 2 so you can get double the B1s. Or I guess if you wanted to buy 2 B1 boxes, you could do that, but it's usually better to get
the extra core set's another
set.
value. Because
Oh, yeah.
what is it, B1 box is it 25 or 30?
Oh, I think it's closer to 25. It's
25.
pretty cheap. Yeah.
So that's $50 for 2 units, or
yeah. Find somebody to
find it
swap
on-
or look on eBay
you can find
or
it
something
on,
like that.
Yeah, you could find a whole core set probably on sale for 80.
But
That's
this
anyway.
one hinges around Grievous. And I got to look at my notes here. Grievous with strict orders, tenacity, and his DT-57 Annihilator pistol. So Grievous doing Grievous things. Love it. B1 battle droids with the E-60R and HQ uplink. So that's the rocket launcher. And then we've got 3 more units of B1 battle droids with the E5C. That's the 3 black dice, range 3, blaster carbine thing. And then droidicas, because droidicas going to droidica.
Yeah. So
They
those
got
are-
cheaper,
yeah.
and we got room to do that. My original list had some aggressive tactics on there, but LJ thought it would be better to go a different direction with what we just mentioned, and I agree with his assessment. I was also playing around with maybe the link targeting, but, play around with it. It's a great framework. You got a lot of wounds on the board there, and Grievous can wreck house. So I think that's a really fun one.
Yeah, I mean, it was at first, when I first glanced, I'm like, oh, this is similar to the list I made with the Vader and the troopers, but then
Yeah.
you throw that droidica in there. That's a little,
Yeah.
that throws that curveball, the roly boy there. It's coming.
People haven't seen droidicas a lot recently, and now with the points reduction, hopefully we'll get a lot more on the table. I was actually even playing with stripping down the B1s a little bit further, because you could, if you really, really wanted to, you've got the double core set, you could put 2 units of droidicas in there. It's dangerous, though. It's very
yeah.
dangerous.
It's a little bit of many eggs in one basket.
Yeah, I think so. But there it is, a quick and dirty way to get on the table with your 500-point lists, and we'll probably do a follow-up real soon to grow those 500 to 800 points to, save your wallet as much as possible while getting you into the thick of the flying laser bolts and laser swords and whatnot out on the table.
So do you guys out there have any budget 500-point lists? Definitely let us know.
Yeah,
on
if
Facebook.
there's something that you started with and you really liked, maybe double T-47 at 500 points. That sounds...
Well, you can only have one heavy.
yeah. Well,
But still, a T-47 at 500 is pretty nuts right now. But anyway,
I would not recommend that.
I mean, the only hardship I'd have is the amount of space on the board to try and turn around. But that's about it.
That's fair. Can you go hold objectives with the speeder now?
I'm gonna have to review the objectives on, because I believe most of them are just unit leaders in range. So
yeah,
I don't think.
For the most part, no, it's not going to help you win.
Exactly.
Other than helping dribble your opponent, because T-47s are life and love. But there you have it. Hopefully we'll have another influx of new players coming along with the holidays. And look, hopefully, to your stores. We've got an event coming up next week I'm looking forward to. We've got armies on parade at the local store.
Correct. So our friendly local store is going to be doing a painting contest where they will have a limited edition Luke. Now, Luke is not going to be the prize for the painting contest. It's going to be a raffle just to make it fair, so that people like you and I can compete with that.
Right. Yes. Let me get my resident painter on speed dial here. He still owes me an AAT tanked out, but yeah. In the meantime, we'll be back in a fortnight, hopefully with a wrap up, and I think we'll get some games in there. It's not just going to be showing off.
So definitely going to be playing some games there, and I'm
going to take one of these 500-point lists, maybe two of them. I actually got the veterans last week. I'll build them up. I'm going to try Jeff's list for rebels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? I'll have to look at the event. I don't know if it's it's just
it's going to be casual meetup.
Yeah, so we can just choose whatever.
Games, though.
Yeah, we can choose whatever point level we want.
Sitting around looking at armies for 2 hours. Come on, get out of here. But anyways, in the meantime, hopefully everybody is safe, having a happy holidays. Don't forget, you can hit us up on Facebook, on Twitter, and you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Captain_Archer. Dan, are you anywhere yet?
/_
Yeah,
hashtag
pound.
Pound.
Yep.
We're looking at like a old comics panel swearing.
Yeah, that's it. Lots of that.
I've just been hanging around on the Discord lately. Imperial
Hit 'em up
chat's
on the
been
Discord.
fun.
It's
the LVO channel has been fun despite the bad news.
Yes.
So definitely
always a good time.
Yeah, always a good time on the Discord and of course the Facebook. I'll probably throw memes around, but anyway.
But anyways, that's it for this week. We'll catch you later, Outriders. Take care.
This concludes the current episode of the Legion Outriders podcast. You may cultivate a tactical advantage by observing the Outriders on Facebook or Twitter at Legion Outriders. Wisdom advocates subscribing to the podcast. Acting otherwise is reckless.